A magic born out of selfless sacrifice. The key to open the doors to infinite powers. A totem that represents maturity and growth. Hot outfits, kick-ass spells, and the final step in becoming a high-level defender of light. A graduation certificate that validates a common fairy in training as a true guardian fairy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Enchantix. To this day, 3 seasons, 8 years, and 7 fairy forms later, Enchantix is still the most beloved transformation. With any new form introduced, you will see many fans saying stuff like, "I wish the outfits were as pretty as Enchantix," or "the transformations are good, but they're no Enchantix." But what is it about this fairy level that's so fantastic that we hold it to such high regards? Why do we always compare all subsequent transformations to it? Why is it that we always go back to it for reference when pointing out newer forms? Well, it's something I like to call the Enchantix standard. Many different aspects make a fairy form what it is. Between the looks, spells, transformation sequence, theme song, and criteria, it's not always possible to cater to all of these aspects. Usually, a fairy form will comply with a few of them, but will lack in the others. Enchantix, however, is the only form that not only complies with all of them, but actually excels at them. It is by far the most cohesive and well-structured fairy form the show has ever had. You see, it looks fantastic. It's of course the first higher level form we saw on the show, so the change was very big and quite exciting. But even with an impartial view on it, it's still absolutely flawless. The designs are very sexy and playful, yet quite classy and sophisticated at the same time, which is something really hard to pull off. They look modern but still have that eternal touch to them. The wings have very beautiful and intricate designs, but still resemble actual butterfly wings.
Can you feel the awesome power they possess?
Power and style! Now that's what I call cool fairy fashion!
The fairies look very mature and powerful in this form. The spells are great. I still think that Magic Winx had overall better spells and manifestations of them, but they had far more time to eventually develop those. But still, Enchantix had some quite impressive spells. Some were practically the same old ones but to a greater impact. Some were new spells that represented their new status as powerful, full-fledged fairies. And the addition of the fairy dust was absolutely magnificent. And I love the idea that part of their magic is stored in their wings. I mean, what a great way of playing up the mythical fairy logistics. The transformation sequences are to die for. One thing that I have always loved about the earlier transformation sequences was that they followed their own recipe. They weren't trying to be what they're not. They followed their own style and set themselves apart. After Enchantix, they decided to go with a bit more of an anime-ish style with the sequences. Not that that's bad by any means, but I always like their own unique way of animating their sequences. But anyway, I digress. The Enchantix transformation sequences are amazing. They're not the high-speed, energetic stuff we're getting now, but they look bombastic in the simplistic and elegant ways. I think it's the most detailed sequence we've gotten from the show. They don't rush through everything and fill it with unnecessary shots. They give each bit its time and allows it to do its job, and lets us enjoy it. It truly is a beautiful sequence to look at. I love this song. The Italian version is by far the best vocal performance of any Winx song ever, and definitely one of the most outstanding ones I have heard of any song, Winx or otherwise. The song is very energetic, despite the sequences not being so, but put together they still work perfectly. The song is quite short, but they managed to create quite a masterpiece in those 40 seconds. I also liked how they had alternate themes for the transformation sequences. In fact, all of the 3 earlier transformations had a main theme but had other music played from time to time, and I loved that dynamic. My favorite alternate theme for Enchantix was this really intense orchestrated music. It made the transformation sequence so much more dramatic. However, I do think that they completely butchered the sequences by using the film's Enchantix theme in Season 4. It just doesn't fit to me. It didn't really do anything for the transformations. But anyway. If there was a way of earning yourself some badass power, Enchantix way was how to do it. Sacrificing yourself and your own well-being for the sake of others is definitely an honorable way of advancing to the next level. You've proven that you are more than capable of controlling a great power and use it for good. All you need is to prove that you actually deserve it. What a smart way to go. Discounting Bloom's exception, we got 5 highly dramatic moments that truly elevated the fairy's character. They didn't go about an easy way of advancing to the next level. The girls displayed incredible maturity and selflessness and truly earned their Enchantix powers.
Wait, I can do it. Hey, look!
Techna, what are you doing?
Techna! No, she cannot risk her life for my planet! Techna, no!
You are needed here, Layla, to help rebuild. What Techna is doing takes great courage. We must allow her to live out her destiny.
Now, how do the subsequent fairy forms compare to Enchantix? Let's see. Remember, the points are looks, spells, transformation sequence, theme song, and criteria. Let's start with the so-called level above Enchantix.
There's a level above Enchantix called Believix.
Believix?
Believix definitely has a transformation sequence for the gods. I love it. It's absolutely amazing, and some of the graphics and animation are tremendous. This was the first transformation that took more of an anime stylized sequence, and it's still the one that was done the best. The theme is also great, very lively and mystical. Together, they make up a sequence that's a force to be reckoned with. However, that's pretty much all Believix has to offer. While I do actually like the selection of spells that comes with this level, I do not like the manifestations of them. They are for the most part just energy balls of different colors. The look is also not something to brag about. They either look too childish or too desert sporty. Except for Techna, she looks awesome. And the criteria is pretty lame, making people believe in magic. And not only that, but after you've earned the form, your power still relies on the belief of people. What a joke.
Thanks, Roxy! The minute you believed in us, we transformed! I believe in you now, and I hope you beat these creepy guys!
Harmonix had a little more going for it. It had some really beautiful designs that really stood out from the bunch. Quite nice transformations with very artistic graphics, and a selection of spells that brought back the show's Renaissance era sentiment. Those spells were very original and had proper manifestations for them. Too bad they lived such a short life. That's it. The theme isn't really all that memorable. It's catchy, you may find yourself humming to it, but it's really nothing to go crazy for. And the criteria for Harmonix is, well, non-existent. Unless you count about to go on a quest as criteria, which I don't. Harmonix was basically just handed to them. Yawn.
Your guardians have granted you a new fairy power, Harmonix. It will allow you to swim faster and use your powers freely in the ocean. The quest begins.
The Serenix theme is heavenly good. There's really nothing more to say about that. If you don't agree, die! I'm unsure about the criteria for Serenix. The Winx did go on the Serenix quest to find the clues that led them to a gem, that led them to a clue, that led them to gem, and so on. And when they finally completed a very repetitive quest, they got Serenix. So they basically won Serenix? Scavenger hunt style? I guess that counts as earning it. Sure, why not? Let's give them that. What I will not give them point for is the transformation sequence, because the 3D version does not make up for the low budget they made with the 2D sequence. Also, the spells are ridiculously lame, and the outfits are genuinely dreadful. Next! When it comes to Bloomix, the disappointment is almost irritating. Why? Because Bloomix actually managed to do something that no other fairy form has ever done before. It actually looks better than Enchantix. What? Yes, Bloomix took a whole different approach and excelled at it like never before. Bloomix is like Enchantix on crack, but it doesn't quite make it in the other aspects. The theme actually has a rockin' music, but the lyrics are just pathetic. The spells are completely unimpressive and boring. The transformation sequence is quite nice, but the jump cuts and the overall sloppiness just takes me out of it. And let's not even begin to talk about the criteria. One word: backflip. So there you have it. Enchantix didn't just create a standard, but it made sure to shine in all of them. It is still overall the most completed form of them all, with zero shenanigans surrounding it. Will we ever have another fairy form that will at least mark all of the points of the standard? I don't know. And with the way the show has been written as of late, I don't think so. But that's okay, because we will always have the badassery called Enchantix.